I'm not alive?
Yes, we're now live.
Oh.
Oh, now.
I'm
Brown
not.
cow.
Oh no, brown. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
And welcome.
To
The basement.
the live.
That's weird.
So
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about how... Well, first let's do what's going on in general.
What's going on?
Order week is over. Regular order week.
True.
We are wrapping up a large batch of milled mini Boweries. And we have another batch of milled mini Boweries that are like halfway done. I'm assuming that the ones we're working on right now should be shipped out tomorrow, is my feeling. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I would say, I think Nick posted something about it before, but in general, they're taking longer than we had anticipated. It's just different doing one bag for a prototype and then doing like a whole lot at once. So we kind of think like next time we'd be working in slightly smaller batches just to get them out the door faster.
I think it's kind of hard to explain, but having to go, like the mill, because it takes longer, it's a little bit more, it's just like any new design, like it's a little bit more of a drain on your reserves to get it done.
It's also just, even though like I've made mini Boweries a billion times, doing the milled ones, just because they're lined, like you're doing everything in a completely different order. And like the prep work to get them ready is all on me for the most part. Whereas with the regular mini Boweries, Nick does all the prep work and hands it off to me, and then I go. So it just has felt like kind of a bit of a slog, I think, for me.
Yeah, there's definitely less I can help with up front, and then
and then I was able to hand off some stuff to you, which was really helpful.
I feel like we were painting edges for like 7 straight days.
It felt that way. We're not done. Well, you're done,
no,
but I'm not.
I mean, yeah.
So, yeah, but the mini Boweries will be going out shortly, within the next couple days.
And they look great.
They do look great, and sewing them went better than I thought they would, so that was good. Also, what in red is available to order right now? Red bridal.
Charlotte, right?
I thought that was last week.
And mini Charlotte.
I thought that was last week.
We've only had 2 weeks. So last week had to be that and Bowery.
Maybe I just talked about it was coming up. Maybe. Oh, no. I don't think that's correct, sir. Because I thought weren't
I think I'm right.
No, weren't Chloe's just being ordered? Did I make that up?
Hold on.
Clearly never know what's going on. But the main thing we want to talk about today is our ordering process and if we should be changing it or not.
It's Chloe, mini Chloe.
Told you. Yeah, last week was Shelby and Charlotte, or sorry, mini Shelby and Charlotte. This week is the Chloe and the mini Chloe in the red bridal. So I have them both in milled here so I can just show you what they look like. But so this week you can order the big Chloe in red bridal and the mini Chloe in red bridal.
My brain skipped over an entire week.
Yeah. This one comes with the crossbody strap.
And then next week will be Greta Phoebe and the last chance to ever get a Stella in red.
In the red.
Or any other color.
Yeah. Well, I don't think can you order it in any other color.
No, they're all gone. Those
just
are gone
red.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got a bunch of Stellas came in for orders last week.
Yeah, we're making room in the collection.
Yeah, we've
Stella,
got
Ingrid, and Shelby all went away with this last order week.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought up. So we got a comment, and like we're not heavily invested in every opinion that comes our way. But
yeah, and a singular comment isn't just like we're not gonna like jump all over it like that's the decision, but
it did spark a conversation that we kind of had been thinking about anyway.
We've been talking about it anyway. Yeah.
So we're considering changing up the ordering process.
Yeah. So as you guys know, the way it currently works right now, or maybe you don't know, we'll talk about it. The way it works right now is the first week of every month from the 1st through the 8th is order week. We open up that week, we take in all the orders, we close it down on the 8th, we use the rest of the month to make all of that stuff, and then we ship it out at the beginning of the next month and open order week again. It's been incredibly successful and helpful for us for many reasons. So before we were just open all the time, you could order whenever. And what happened, well, what was happening, which was difficult for us, was that we, let's say I made a batch of 4 bags in one color, and I make those, ship them out, and then the next day we get another one of those. Well, I could have added that into the group, right? So it was great to have all the orders up front at the beginning of the month. We could see all the orders, batch like designs and like colors together, and it just made it faster for us to get things out the door. It also made ordering our leather a lot more efficient because we could again see everything and order, effectively that way. Order leather and hardware that way.
So from a planning perspective,
It's been great.
it works really well for us.
Yeah, and for me personally, mentally, it's been great because I can see like these are the orders that need to get done this month, and it was clearly, hey, Danielle, we haven't seen you in a while. It was nice to see kind of have like a light at the end of the tunnel every month.
Wearing your pants every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And so that for me mentally has been really great. So of course you're asking, well, then why would you switch it up? We have had more than one comment of people saying like, oh, I missed order week again, or
I'm confused.
yeah, I'm confused how it works. And I get it. Like if we get at the beginning of when we started doing order weeks, we talked about it a lot because we wanted to make sure everybody who followed us understood how it worked. It was great. We got tons of orders. It worked really well. I mean, this is our 2nd year doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still working well.
And the whole time, I mean, I've viewed it as an experiment.
Yes. And even when we first did it, we were like, we're going to try this for 2 months. And if it works, we'll keep doing it. If it doesn't work, we'll go back.
It had to be 3 months. It had to be a quarter.
Oh, 3 months?
In my mind.
Whatever. It was a smaller amount of time. And it worked, so we just kept doing it. But like I said, we just want to make sure this is the right process for us. And then there's also the part of us just growing as a business and wanting to take that next step. And it's difficult for us to like figure out how to take that next step when we can only produce so much. We also don't, of course, as a business, don't want to be missing orders that we could potentially get, which it does like make that a potential scenario, though I don't know if we've necessarily felt that exactly. But yeah, so that's kind of like where we are.
So I posed a question, or I gave options for a poll yesterday, and the options were keep everything the same, do a waitlist system, which would be basically our website appears open, you can order whenever you want,
Right.
and then we just post, hey, this is going to be, 12 weeks from now is when you can expect to get your order.
Right. The front page would have our wait list, like our wait times for like general wait times posted, and it would potentially change a little bit every month depending on how things were going.
It would be a live.
Yeah.
And it would probably end up being a range, an estimated range, just because we want to make sure that we're being as truthful as we can. Because things happen.
Yeah. And we want people to understand when they're ordering, they're not going to get their bag right away.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wait, obviously.
The third option was what I call the rolling order, where like we fill our capacity, we close, so we don't take orders until a certain point, and then we reopen. So like kind of just rolling whenever we hit capacity, whenever we're not, we're open to take orders. That would still be a 4 to 6 week lead time regardless, just if that's how it is.
At least.
And then the fourth option was, do you remember? Oh, just extending lead times with the same order week. So.
Oh, right.
So most people were interested in
the first 3.
the wait list and staying the same.
Yes. Yeah, the first two seemed like the most popular, right?
Yeah.
Continue doing what we're doing, or doing a wait list where we're basically open all of the time, and at our very first page would tell you like general wait times.
I do think that there's opportunity for the rolling one. However, I think it would just end up being more confusing for people.
I agree
because
with
you don't really know.
You'll never know like when we're going to open again.
And the only way to know would be to sign up to be notified. So
right, which we already do anyway.
Which we do, yeah. So that's laying it out.
Yeah.
That's what's on our mind right now.
So basically, what we're thinking about is, should we try being the second option?
Hello to everybody.
Hi. Which would be being open all the time. You can place your order whenever, but our front page would tell you our general wait times. So we would love to hear from you guys how you feel about that potential system, if that's something.
The other thing I like about what we currently do is like, say you need this for a birthday.
Right.
So like, and you know the birthday's in 2 months, you can plan.
Right.
If you need a birthday gift and our wait times are 4 months out, you're kind of, that's it. You're kind of done. If you want the gift in time.
Right. That would make it.
It's less flexible for.
Right. Like right now.
I call that an impulse, but for like special occasions.
Right now we're a month at a time. So like, if you know someone's birthday's coming up the next month, you can order a month ahead of time. It's like pretty good. And to be perfectly frank, a lot of you would email us when placing them. We'd be like, hey, it's someone's birthday. I need it for this. And we would just push it up a little bit, just to be sure, of course, that you got it on time. We would not be able to do things like that if we did the
other way.
Yeah, the second option.
Take a seat.
Because what we imagine, like obviously we don't know, but what we imagine is our wait list time would be how long, potentially?
I mean, I think 4 months would be like where
4 months.
We might settle.
Yeah.
And this is all because like we're made to order, so we don't have backstock. We can't really produce backstock, or we would. So that's why we're a made to order business. So this is kind of part of the nuance of navigating that type of business. Oh, so you don't have anything in stock at all, custom ordered and made after order is placed, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, just it being the two of us and the amount of orders that we get in monthly.
Hi, perfectly frank. I'm Dad.
We just can't create backstock. Now, we'd love to get to a point where we could create backstock, but the only way we're really going to be able to do that sort of thing is if we were to hire someone, which is also, of course,
that's in our plans.
In our plans going forward. It's just about getting to that right spot and being able to do that.
I'm in the same spot rethinking how we sell our stuff. Lead times have gotten too long, and it's hard to batch things when people aren't necessarily ordering the same items within the same time frame.
Right.
Yes. So.
And I think we'd still be able. My thought is like, if we did, let's just say like next month we order a week just as normal, and then.
To me,
we would
start this in like June, July would be what I would think.
Yeah. If we have like a batch, we would basically have. I don't know. In my head, it would still work. Like we'd have to have them kind of like.
It would
crash into each other.
Yeah, it would. Regardless,
so
it's going to start with like at least 4 to 6 weeks out. Like
yes,
that's where it begins.
Yeah. So that we could at least look at that stuff all together in batch, is what I'm thinking.
I mean, my concern is like we do the waitlist thing, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. Now we have a year wait list or something. Yeah. But I mean, if that's okay with you guys, we could do that too. It's just, is that the right move or not?
And then we talked about what does that look like for holiday? What does that look like
for introducing anything
new colors, new designs?
Yeah.
We'd have to incorporate lead times into that, and then they would have to be on their own special timeline. So like that's where it gets hairy, and that's where it gets like.
Because then I don't really understand how I would.
Yeah.
Do that.
Accomplish.
Yeah.
the goals.
Yeah. Oh, do you have a logo for your bags besides your name? Thanks. No.
No. We do have other logos, but we don't currently have them on anything.
No. I mean, it's all pretty much our name. This is the logo.
The logo in our Instagram profile is another logo, but that's not on any bags.
Yeah.
It's good. Good question.
We can do it either gold foil or like heat embossed. Yeah.
No gold. Or gold.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what makes the most sense. I'm still struggling with it because, like, part of me.
There's benefits to both, and there's cons to both. So.
There's a lot of benefits for us doing it the way that we currently do it.
I think in practice, if we ended up doing a waitlist system, I would basically just have to create a list for you.
I would have to not look.
And you would not look at what was in queue.
Yeah.
I think that's it, as far as that.
Yeah.
Because you would look at it and be like.
Well, I think I would also look at it and.
I mean, the other option is to do like batch drops, like make this many of those, they're available. Make this many of those, they're available.
I don't love that.
I don't either, because we have too many different types of bags.
Yeah. It would, again, that sort of thing I think would also only work for us if we had helpers to help us make everything. Employees.
Little helpers.
Little tiny helpers. Elves, if you were. Yeah, because we don't want to be sitting on product. That like just isn't.
No, that's not our goal.
I like the idea of being able to create backstock, but not like a ton of backstock. I want to have like.
Well, we talked
one
about
to two of each bag in every
yeah,
color,
having
that
like
sort of thing.
one of each on display.
Yes.
So that we could bring them over and talk to you guys about them.
Yeah, that's something that I would like to make happen.
Instead of, hey, we happen to be working on this.
And here.
Look at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you have any questions or you have any thoughts, feel free to jump in.
Yep.
But yeah.
How do you guys feel about lead times?
Well, it was interesting, like people opting for a wait list.
Mm-hmm. That
to me automatically means it's going to be longer.
Yeah, I would imagine it would have to be. I mean, what it would be good for our customers would be like you can place your order at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't have to be on top of order week, like knowing, right. Oh, it's the first week of the month, I should place my order. I mean, we try to make that as like easy as possible because you can sign up to be notified as soon as the bag you like is available to order.
Your voice is really low.
Oh, is it? Is my microphone not working? Can you guys hear us okay?
You're on.
Okay. Is yours not working?
No, they're both working. They're both showing up.
Oh. Maybe they just went ahead of really low voice.
Hello. It's all right.
If you guys can't hear us, please tell us.
We're also talking to each other more than.
That's true.
So we whisper at each other. How is your day going?
It's going. Okay. But yeah, but then the negative for our customers would be obviously just a longer wait time.
Mm-hmm. But people seemed interested in being able to just place the order and like kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think that might be the way to go.
Seems like everyone can hear us. Getting lots of hearts.
Yeah. Hearts.
Okay.
Hearts.
But yeah, that's like the main thing.
ASMR leather hour.
Okay.
Half hour. You have 10 minutes left.
Stop it being creepy. Is there anything else that we had just generally that we need to talk about? You didn't write a lot down.
I have one thing on there.
One thing.
And that's the ordering part.
It is.
I have like parts of some of the video of the milled mini Boweries, but like,
made, yeah.
It'll be like greatest hits. It won't be like a lot of detail. Trying to think. Yeah, we're knee deep in trying to get stuff out.
That sounded like NPR for a sec.
Oh man, it's like the SNL NPR skit. I think customers are happy to order and wait, and they know they have secured their bag in production. I think that's a really good point.
That is a good
also, also be a great joy in. Oh, also be a great joy and to look forward to the bag arriving.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. That's
true.
That is a very good point.
True. And we could also be like, we're working on order number this through this, and we can talk about it that way.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And be like, expect these to come out. Or if you're waiting, this is where we're on order number this. So depending on how far away your order number is, you have an idea
Of kind of where we are. That's a good idea.
I do like that. This is like a live business meeting with you guys.
Yeah, interesting. I guess I keep thinking in my head, I'm trying to figure out like, I want order week, and if we switch it to this other thing to like, almost like overlap, if that makes sense, because I don't want it to be.
What do you mean by overlap?
So like, let's just say we have order week this month, we fulfill everything and end it, everything is shipped out at the end of the month. We start the next month with we're open all the time. So now we don't have, I can't batch anything. I'm going to start making stuff as soon as orders come in, because you're going to be like, here.
Yeah.
I won't be able to batch anything. I want it to be so I can batch. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you'd have to know the future.
I need to know the future. But I feel like there's a way to do that.
You could always try it for 3 months and see what happens.
Yeah,
Sure.
we would definitely do that no matter what.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we, like kind of like how this began with Order Week at all, see how it goes. If it's terrible.
Otherwise, we would have to like be like, okay, we're open for orders, and just like wait for a month to pass by and not make anything, just to like get everything in.
In order to close down, it's gonna happen that way no matter what.
Happen which way?
It's gonna we're gonna finish up the batch of Order Week bags, and then we'll have a batch of those, like the new way.
But it wouldn't necessarily be a batch if people didn't order at the beginning.
Right, but like we have to see how it goes.
But what I'm saying is, I wonder if we could do like right now we've got a bunch of orders in the queue, right?
Right.
We just open, I'm not saying we're doing this, but I'm saying if we were to just like open now and be like, okay, any orders placed from now on, you're in the wait list area. So I'm still batching.
I understand. So,
because there's so much in
again,
inventory.
That would happen either way.
Not inventory,
because that's
but
what the lead
orders.
time's for to begin with. You would be telling people this is where it begins.
Yeah,
based
but
on
I
what
want
we
to be able to
have.
batch. I'm saying if we
I get it.
if we
It's going to
cleared
be
it
a
out.
rough, maybe 2 months to transition.
I don't want to.
Too bad. Oops. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Weren't you going to take August off or something anyways? Maybe you could work it into a change drop. So
that's not
the
a bad
answer is
idea.
yes. So that was going to be tricky either way. So typically one of the summer months is like lame for us, which is fine. Like that's
Yeah.
good. That helps us.
It's July usually, but yeah.
Um,
July,
and
hi from Istanbul. Hello.
and we were going to use that to like take a little bit less orders in and then like finish them and then go do whatever. So
Take a vacation.
take a vacation. And we'll still do that, but I don't know if it's going to align with just the whole month.
Yeah, but you see what he's saying.
Yeah, no, I know. But I kind of feel like for our purposes, getting it started earlier is more beneficial because once we get into the fall, it's kind of like...
Yeah, we're kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
And the only other piece, which I think you touched on earlier, is just like holiday wouldn't be a thing.
Well, it would be, the lead times are, like, it's...
If you want your bag for Christmas, like order it in May.
August, potentially, or earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
yeah,
holiday orders wouldn't be a thing, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
See how complicated it is?
So complicated.
They're just like, make the bags, guys.
They're like, shut up and make the bag. Stop chit-chatting. I brought this over to work on while I chit-chatted, but it's too much thinking.
But yeah, I don't know. I really don't fully, like, yeah, how they wouldn't exist.
No, it wouldn't be something that we could
In
like.
the way it has in the past, like with a deadline. Like the deadline would just be early. It would just be an early deadline.
Yeah, which just no one's gonna really, I doubt,
No.
would be thinking about that. Hi from Sweden. I think that's what that said. It passed too quick. Get back. There we go. I think it's supposed to be how many bags do you produce every year? Do you know what?
I mean,
like roughly.
I just did our taxes too. So I looked at all that stuff.
And then he went.
It's for
that out of
yeah,
there.
I know. I did it. I just dumped it. It's between 500 and 600.
Yeah, that sounds right. There's more there.
Maybe I missed it, but why not go to a pre-made drop model? Yeah, we just kind of touched on that. I think we have too many items to do that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And the pre-made kind of does. It makes it more complicated. Especially, like, say we had to have 10 of each design, or like 10 of like a couple designs. They would have to be produced. Like, part of the reason our model works for us is because it is kind of a pre-order system, so that you know, you pay for it, we can then buy all the stuff and then make it.
If we did it that way too, the part I don't love about that is that we would then, like, let's say I made 10 of every bag. Right. Like Nick said, we do have too many, I think, colors and styles to make that happen. But also, then let's say I made all these and then like these over here didn't sell. Now they're sitting, which I don't love.
We're not a fan of that at all.
Yeah. It's just not great to have products sitting. Like, I'm okay with us being like, we're gonna make one bag of every bag in every color and have it like essentially as like our showroom. Like, I love that idea because when we do these sort of things, we could take the bag off the shelf, show you guys, talk about it, have it for photographing, all that sort of thing. I think we need to make that happen. I think that's one of our goals this year. But I just don't want to have like a ton of backstock sitting unless I'm going to be doing shows or something like that, which just currently isn't part of the plan.
Another way to look at it, like, I have a perishable background, so I kind of treat this like it's perishable, even though it's obviously not.
I have a perishable background. It sounds like your background is just dying slowly behind you.
So obviously, any money that you spend up front is spent, and you can't then use it again. So you want to free up as much of your money as possible to make the most of it. Anyway, you can always overproject by 2 to 3 weeks. People love hearing their stuff is ready early. We would definitely have a range, and we would the range kind of like how we do it now. We try to get everything done in 4 weeks earlier, but it could take up to 6.
Right.
And sometimes it just does. But yeah, we would do something similar like that. Coincidentally, projecting my schedule is something I'm terrible at. Where do you guys source your leather from? It is from Pennsylvania. I thought about having a very limited core collection that's ready to ship, then everything else is made to order.
I like that.
Not quite sure how it would work. Yeah, I
like that better.
Agree. The tough part for us, though, is like the core collection would be the fast movers. So, I mean, which makes sense, right?
Sure, yeah.
But that's definitely a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better way to do it than just like, I'll make everything and then see what happens. Yeah. And like also we don't
making designs.
You guys don't want that. Please. I know you're all excited for like some of those new designs.
Look back there. Stop.
We have new color coming. So excited.
Yeah, we gotta decide when. We have to pick when that's gonna be.
Me too.
We're gonna expose that to the world.
It has to be after this.
Yeah, I know. For you, your mental.
Mentally, mental health. It's true. so difficult.
It is. 30 minutes. We did it.
We did it.
Bop, bop, bop.
Now I'm over here.
So no decisions were made.
We did not.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
so confused.
we'll
have to talk it through somewhere.
Yeah, I think we will. I'm feeling like the waitlist makes sense. I'm feeling like
I think we both want to try it.
I think it's something to try. I think it's time for a little bit of a change. And like as we talk about the future and what we're trying to do, it kind of aligns a little bit better with that.
Yeah.
So. Yep. All right. Final thoughts and questions. It's your time.
And questions.
Just gotta get back to work.
So much work. I still haven't finished my bag, guys.
It's like haunting you.
It is haunting me. It's really, really frustrating. I may just have to.
It's been so nice weather-wise here, so
That's part of the problem.
Give us a quick summary of the waiting list. So currently we do order weeks. We're open the first 8 days of every month. And you order, and then we produce after that. So the wait list would change it to our website is open, but you're basically all the time. But you're basically pre-ordering, and we'll post the lead times. So the lead times could potentially be longer, and I would expect them to be longer, to be honest.
Yeah, I would.
So watch, you'll get 300 orders within a month of opening the waitlist. That is another concern that we're not even going to talk about because her head will explode.
Just won't look at that.
But that would obviously push us in the direction of needing additional help.
Right. Okay, so when we didn't really touch on this at all, but when we talked about it earlier before coming on, that was kind of one of the things we were talking about.
Quick before my dad is all sucked out like the Peruvian sun, taking my whiteness and replacing my angry pink. Cool jacket, Nick. Have a good week. Enjoy Peru.
But that was something that we had talked about is like, well, if that happened, it would kind of force us in a way to hire, which is what we want to do. It's where we want to go.
Will you guys have a cutoff for orders or just longer lead times?
Just longer lead times.
So yeah, there wouldn't be a cutoff.
Yeah.
It would be open.
Because right now, what you're describing is essentially what we do. Yeah. So the first week of every month, we're open for 8 days. You can place orders then. Whatever is ordered, we stop on the 8th day and we produce it. Or if we get too many orders, which has happened, we'll close down early that month and produce everything, which was great for us for batching and purposes of that. But if we got a long enough lead time, it would.
So almost tricking yourselves into expanding. I like it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening.
Yeah, that's accurate description. That is 100% an accurate description.
You're going to move to Columbus for hiring, right? Yes.
Is that Jamie?
Cool. Jamie, I looked up a train to see if I could get to Columbus from Philly.
Nick is very interested in train travel currently.
I've been looking up trains. I'm interested.
I know, it's fine. I would love to take a train to Ohio. Oh. It's just really funny that
Good morning. I'm tuning in. Glad you caught you guys. Hope both are doing well. I have a question I want to ask. Oh. When putting your work on the web through social media, on the web, I feared as keeping. Man, I can't read today.
Sorry.
I feared keeping the integrity of my designs. Have you ever been afraid of copycats, etc.? How do you combat that fear? So it happens. It's going to happen. You can't really.
There's not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately. I think.
Come to Minneapolis. We're going to start a tour. I thought about doing that for the summer, like doing a mini tour. That would be so cool.
That would be really cool.
Sorry. So copycats are going to happen for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to think about it. Kind of like the conclusion I feel like I've come to in my head to like make me okay with it is they're going to happen no matter what I do.
Yeah.
If people are copying it, that means it's a good design anyway.
True.
And it's one thing if someone copies like a bag. Obviously, that's terrible. You don't want it to happen. You ask them to stop and take it down as nicely as you possibly can. Always treat everything. We always take everything, no matter what it is, the situation. If someone's being rude to us or whatever, we're always trying to like lead with kindness. and being kind about it. But we did have one particular example where someone literally was ripping off almost every single one of our designs.
No, it was 3 or 4.
It was a lot.
Which
I'd
was
say half
too
the
many,
collection.
obviously.
Yeah. And so then we just reached out to friends to ask many people to help take it down, and that worked.
Yeah,
But
you can't be too preoccupied with that.
exactly. And like
any business will have its secrets. It'll have its it's whatever its edges. So just keep working on you and like focusing on your designs, maybe your relationships with your vendors. Like basically, you want to outcompete them in a different way.
Right.
Which sounds kind of lame, but it's probably also more of a perceived threat than something that happens often.
It is.
Anyway, let's see. Can we like mobily hire people? I don't know.
Mobily?
Mobile.
Is that a question, or you were asking that?
I guess we can. I don't know why.
Yeah, we kind of already do.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. We don't have trains here, but they keep teasing us with empty Amtrak promises.
Was that Jamie?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to, because, I mean, our car is lame and like over 10 years old. So
she's not doing great.
She doesn't like
long drives.
So
she's more of like a homebody.
A new to us car will be in the next 5 years.
Future.
I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to figure out how to travel to see some friends.
Yeah, we do. Or maybe you guys just really want to come see us. We've got a lot of Airbnbs in our town for some reason. I don't know what that's about.
It's a compliment if anybody's copying. Sweet, you could take a vacation from work and visit your work friends. Hey, it's all the same.
It is. It is.
We're living this basement
friends
life,
and work friends are the same.
We had someone stealing our photos from the website and passing it off as their own. I think
Yes,
that annoys me more
that
because that's
happens a
so low
lot.
effort on their part. Like, they're just like, I did this. I'm like, come on.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Only found out because they were dumb enough to follow us on IG. Well, that's how we
That's
found out
how-
about ours, too. They
yes.
asked us a question about hats
And
at the time. And I was
that
like,
was the
then I
person
looked
who
at their
was like
profile,
ripping
and
off
I'm
a
like,
bunch
this is
of our
stuff.
designs. It was so weird.
Isn't that weird?
It was very weird.
I'm not going to hide franchise. Tiny franchises going to collectively take over.
There we go.
Thanks so much.
I hope that's helpful.
How much do you feel is too little or too much to share about the process? For example, I'm planning on vlogging about my business. I want to help others.
So that's what we do.
That's a good question. So we share quite a bit, but like we're never going to share exactly step by step. This is how you make a bag start to finish.
Unless it's a class.
Unless it's a class. Or
which
unless
we
it's,
have as well.
Yeah, we did on Domestica.
Yeah.
And not because we're not trying to make it any easier for people to steal ideas, but I think those people that are stealing ideas, they're hitting a roadblock somewhere. Like, they're not gonna just automatically be successful because they're not gonna be as passionate as you are. They're not gonna have the same connections as you are. They're not gonna have the same materials. It's gonna be different. So even if someone tries to like copy you, it's not gonna be identical. And that's why you have to get really good at explaining what you do and your differentiators and market and all that stuff. That's why, that's why the marketing side is really, really important. Like you can't control other people's behavior, right? But you can control your own and how you react to it. Now we're getting all the questions. I'm late to the party.
Sorry, I'm still working, if that's any.
Coming to Florida kind of sucks as a state, but I'm here, so that's a plus.
Is that Daniel?
We would go to Tallahassee. I looked up trains there too, don't worry.
He's looked up all the trains.
I like trains.
I don't know how much time you've really spent on trains.
I haven't spent a lot of time on trains. I might hate trains.
I was like, I don't really know how much you're gonna
I like
this.
the idea, so.
But you like the idea of like a sleeper train, like a magical, like up
magic?
the West Coast, like beautiful dome. But that's just like not how it's gonna be.
I imagine maybe I would be reading on a train, and I like that idea.
I want you to picture like the 5-year-old that's sitting next to you. That's
true.
That's my biggest
Maybe he
fear.
can get his own train. How do you plan to scale and add employees? So that's kind of what we were talking about.
Where
this will be the start of the gig economy for craftspeople. Maybe. I'm in the same situation regarding order weeks and wait lists.
Whoops.
If you're doing wait lists, how do you handle time off if you're constantly receiving orders? So that's her concern.
Yep.
So you would have to treat it exactly the same way. It's like any other business. So like the business goes on while even if you're not there.
Yeah.
So you would kind of have to disconnect yourself from it a little bit, adjust your lead times so that you could do that.
Right. And that's where Nick comes in, because I wouldn't look at it and he would, and he would dictate to me.
And that's why it's important to like plan long term. So if you have your full year's worth of stuff out on the calendar and then you put blocks in, like this is, I know I'm doing vacation. I know I'm doing this.
Right.
These are the days
Not that
I'm
you
doing
can
it.
always do that, though.
You have what's left to do your work. So
Right.
that's ideal, right? It doesn't make it easy. It sounds easy. It's not.
But yeah, we're in a similar spot where like
Super
we're trying to
helpful.
figure out
Thanks so much. You
how
both.
to hire.
Can't wait to watch the replay from the beginning. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Trains.
Planes, automobiles.
That's weird.
I don't know. It's like a truck. But yeah, we're basically in this spot now where like we're trying to figure out how to get to that next point where we're hiring people.
I mean, the
making
other,
that move.
we wouldn't do it the right way. We've been thinking about doing like a crowdsource campaign for a while too, and I've
Yes.
actually written out like a full plan on that. Part of it to me just feels a little bit weird. So I'm not like, I haven't like fully invested, I think, as much time in that as I really would want. But that would basically be a way to gauge interest in people supporting like an American-made leather bag company and getting us into a commercial space, getting us into
Hiring.
like hiring and the technology kind of necessary for a real
produce at
small
a
batch
higher-
operation.
Slightly higher quantity. Yeah.
And to be clear, that would be like, it would still be a limited amount. Like we wouldn't
Yeah,
be like,
yeah. But it would be more.
we would take what we're doing and just add people to it, if that makes sense, versus trying to purely scale and have the robots take over. Hey guys, I've missed these conversations. Work's been so busy, non-leather work.
No worries.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Spring is always a very busy time, I feel like.
Whenever it gets warm, it feels great. Like, it feels good. I'm excited because
true.
it's like not chilly at night. It's like a slightly chilly at night, but like warm during the day.
Oh, the other
you
night
get
was
to
not
spend time
chilly.
outside.
It was hot.
Yeah, which is weird. Would you look at wholesale if you added more production capacity? That's something also we discussed,
Potentially,
and
yeah.
we're always hesitant to go that route. It would have to, in my opinion, be a really good partnership
Yes.
with whoever we decide to do it. And it would be super slow. It wouldn't be like
We're in
scaling
30
to scale.
stores
Like
all of
that's
them,
not
yeah.
our goal at all. Like our goal is to create a sustainable business for ourselves and others, and train and to teach a skill and create something of value in our community. So we're not just looking to have leftover bags and be wasteful and all that stuff. That's just not. It's not it.
Yeah, but that would be something that would potentially be on the table.
Yeah, 'cause
if
we
we were
could.
able. Yeah, because
So, like, there would be space to
we
do
definitely
that.
could not do that right now.
No,
So it would.
not without losing our minds.
Oh my God, don't think I'd be able to sleep if.
Do it. Get a big workshop. Hire people. Buy more machines. Just try it for 3 months, and then you can always go back. That's not how that works. A 5-year
we
lease on a
have-
commercial space doesn't really just go back. Sure.
That was a good one.
But so to your point, though, like going too far in a direction beyond what you're capable of is the death of a small business.
That's exactly right, which is why it feels so scary to make these decisions.
Like you can't just suddenly
Yeah.
like have more expenses than you can handle for, a long period of time.
Right.
So
We tried to win the lottery, it just didn't work.
we tried to win $1 billion. It's not a viable business solution. All right, we're done. game over. That was 45 minutes. But thank you for your questions.
See, I think we should do these more where like I'm working while we're chit chatting at the same time. I think.
As they just see your arm going like this.
Yeah.
They can't even see you.
I'm right here.
Yeah, but
I was there for most of it. That's not helpful.
I didn't think it would be. All right, we will see you next week. Thank you for your questions.
Yes. And if you have thoughts about what we talked about, please DM us because we definitely want to hear what you guys think about the potential to move to that new system.
I might do a new poll with like more questions.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And just a quick recap of kind of like where we're at right now. Milled mini batteries should be shipping out by the end of the week. And it is pre-order week for the red bridal mini Chloe and Chloe.
Correct.
And I think that's it for
How many
right
rich
now.
people do you know?
Not enough.
If each of our followers gives us $1.
Well, that's true. Then we could definitely do it.
That's not the point of crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
I think that to me gets complicated with like the reward side.
Yep. That was the part
'Cause,
that
like,
we
it
were
just
struggling with
creates
trying to
more
figure
work.
that out. Yeah, yeah.
But obviously, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
I'll keep you yammering.
Maybe I'll finish my bag by then and we can talk about that.
Maybe. Probably not.